Hey guys, it's your boy Keys. Welcome back. We're looking at what is Radicle, RAD token, features, tokenomics, and price predictions. So live on Tech Deep Dives by Hassan Shafiq, that's the author writer, physical writer. So guys, you're welcome. If this is your first time of coming to our YouTube channel, what we do, we drop updates on beneficial or informative articles. So you want to click on the red subscribe button beneath our videos, and also turn on the notification so you get notified whenever we drop beneficial uploads or uploads that may be informative to you. Also, if you have any questions, leave us a feedback in the comment section, and also like our videos for free, as well as share these videos to your loved ones that may find it helpful. So back to the news. It says table of content. There are a bunch of them there, but we try as much as possible to go over them as much as possible. So Radicle, Ratoken, is a decentralized coding collaboration network built on an open protocol. It enables developers to collaborate on code without the need for third party. So Radicle was created to mimic the capabilities of centralized code collaboration platforms while maintaining Git's peer-to-peer nature, extending the benefits of distributed version control. So the value of proposition of Radicle. So during the previous decade, open source software development became the standard. So sharing code freely and publicly has reduced the cost and complexity of producing software, resulting in a surge in IT innovation. We have GitHub and GitLab, for example, have intramurously supported the spread of open source by bringing it to a larger audience. So they established global developer communities, created standard vocabulary and behaviors, made Git more accessible to a larger audience. They facilitated social coding and established standard language and habits. Furthermore, they have unquestionably altered the way programmers write code. These technologies, which have become the industry's standard for code sharing, also house the world's largest open source development repositories, which include not just code but also bugs, pull request reviews, and comments. So, furthermore, these platforms are where most social interactions, such as stars, likes, and following, take place. So these platforms, on the other hand, are owned by companies, which means they are subject to corporate law and can set their own terms of service. They have the power to implement user bans, such as those that were placed on various countries like Syria, Iran, and other GitHub accounts in response to the US government pressure. They are prone to censorship and corporate and government interests that are frequently in tension with the principles of free and open source communities. Now, looking at maintaining the stability and health of free and open source ecosystem is more critical than ever in a world where practically all software is built on open source code. As a result, the team behind Radical feels that relying on centrally hosted platforms and corporations to deliver critical open source infrastructure is unsustainable. The implement of such centralized services is incompatible with the goals of the free and open source ecosystem, putting it at the risk of extinction. So Radical was invented as a stand-in. Its goal is to eliminate intermediaries and create a peer-to-peer ecosystem that is reliable and effective and also safe, to encourage the adoption of decentralized alternatives for code collaboration that conform for free and open source software norms. An intentional shift in the narrative is necessary. So how does Radical RAD token work? We say Radical was created with Bazaar style growth in mind. This signifies that each project now has upstreams maintained by maintainers and contributors who exchange changes with one another rather than a single canonical view. The two people will have the subjective opinions on the same project, but your vision of the project will become the total of other views of the project rather than being constrained to the supervision of a small set of individuals with read/write permission. The project becomes dispersed among the different perspectives of its maintainers and contributors. In reality, this implies that you need to add other individuals on your project as remote to retrieve and receive updates from contributors. So Radical uses ETH for unique worldwide identities, decentralized organizations, and protocols that assist open source maintainers keep their projects going. Radicle Link, a peer-to-peer replication technology based on Git, powers the network. It adds peer-to-peer discovery to Git by spreading data through a mechanism known as gossip. So network users exchange and distribute material that they are interested in by storing redundant copies locally, sharing or replicating their local data with chosen peers. So Radical Link uses Git Smart Transfer Protocol to maintain its data replication speed while providing worldwide decentralized repository storage via the peer-to-peer networking layer. Developers can exchange and collaborate on Git repositories without depending on middlemen such as hosted servers, because all data on the network is saved locally by peers on the network. Looking at how Radicle is different from both GitHub and GitLab, we said collaboration on Radicle differs differently from centralized code or collaboration systems such as GitHub, two of the biggest providers of internet hosting for the software development. These are the main take here. It says Radicle is not an enterprise, but rather a community-owned and self-sustaining network. So, for example, the RAD token, which is built on Ethereum, is in charge of its own governance. So the next on the list is that the Radicle stack is open source from beginning to end, which implies there are no closed components in this system. It also implies that the Radicle stack is, however, completely auditable, modifiable, and extendable. So Radical is also not set to be global by default. Instead, the content you see interact with and reproduce is governed by a social graph of peers and projects. So Radical was designed to encourage bazaar-style development, which means that side projects, there isn't a single master branch for contributors to merge into, and peers instead preserve their unique project representations, which other peers can access and merge via patches. So Radical is built entirely on open protocols. Special servers, privileged users, or companies have no control over their corporation. Radical employs a peer-to-peer architecture rather than a client-server model. So Radical is an Ethereum-based decentralized organization that replaces the ORG functionality of centralized forges, as well as their hierarchical administrative systems. These are some of the unique features. We have Radical Link, which is a peer-to-peer gossip protocol with a flexible distributed fashion control backend. Though its first implementation is focused on supporting Git, it aspires to be broad enough to be used on top of systems like Pjoule or Mercurial. It's also another unique factor is that it's a peer-to-peer code collaborative stack. Radical implements the Scuttlebot social overlay philosophy by adding a peer-to-peer replication layer to distributed version control system, starting with Git. The concept of a single canonical upstream is supplanted by a patch-based peer-to-peer or bazaar model, and user accounts and login are replaced by public key cryptography. Hosted issue trackers are overtaken by local or peer replication. Next on the list says on the tokenomics of RAD, is that the total supply of RAD tokens is 99 uh, 1,998,810 tokens, and the current circulating supply is about 26,170,474.61 RAD tokens. So we have a Radical price is now trading at 7.35 as of January 19, 2022. Its 24-hour volume as exchanges is around 7,861,569 dollars. So Radical price prediction and future outlook with over 50 million users of GitLab and 73 million developers of GitHub. The target audience of Radical is already present. There is a huge advantage for any project out there which craves to be in position that Radical is already positioned. So we have institutional investors are aware of this fact, which is why major investors may come in very soon towards the Radical platform. So with no closed component in the Radical ecosystem as described above, it is a platform that is decentralized and based on open protocols, a feature that is valued highly by software developers. It won't be easy to compete with centralized organizations who want to control the world through decentralized software. However, with the Web 3.0 ecosystem in place, with maintainers and contributors playing their role, Radical is all set to be a giant in the open source world, software world, once Web3 hits the sky. So we might see say which Radicle, which is 72%, the current value, which is 72% less than its ATH, $27.61. RAD token experienced an all-time low at 3.79 just 6 months ago during the infamous crypto dump of May 2021, and it has not recovered fully. After that, it made a good recovery and went to $18 before it came into $7.35 cent. It must be noted that the largest cryptocurrency in the world, which is Bitcoin, dictates the market, and right now it is supposed to be in the recovery phase. Okay, so we have crypto experts believe that BTC will show some strength. Entire crypto market will go up, including RAD token, which may break $20 mark and even test its HEH very soon, which stands at $27.61. So guys, that's all on this news on Radicle. I hope you find this beneficial. I'll still be dropping a link in the comment section. Stay tuned for more. Click on the red subscribe button to support us and also get notified whenever we drop uploads or beneficial updates. Your buy keys. Stay tuned for more. Peace out and much love, guys.